All right, guys, moving on to chapter 3, Escape to Freedom, the rebellious teenage years. After going to bed hungry that night, I remember waking up to a knock on the door. I already knew my dad had left early that morning for work, so I had no clue who it could be. Normally, my brother would have been sleeping in a room with me, but since I'd been locked away in that room the day before, he had fallen asleep on a sofa downstairs. With a force that felt like fire in my bones, I leapt up from the bed and flung the door open with everything in me. I didn't walk down those stairs, I flew. It was my first time out of the room since being thrown in it the day before. Yeah, so the day during the cookout, I was in the room all night, didn't eat. When I woke up that morning, is when I heard the knock on the door. And y'all, I'm telling you, I don't know what came over me, but I flew out the room. I don't even care if the door was locked. I just remember throwing the door open. And you know how you can jump and skip downstairs? I remember skipping down the stairs. When I opened the door, I see my mom and dad and my bonus dad, and I'm telling y'all, I just felt so much relief. I just remember hugging them like, oh my God, I'm so glad y'all here. Y'all would have thought I saw an angel. And I remember years later, my mom telling me that I looked like I was a runaway slave, just the look, of relief and safety on my face. Oh my God, I had seen the face of God. In that moment, everything changed. I felt relief, I felt safety, I felt love and security, all in an instant. Both of them were wearing matching jean outfits, and I remember hugging them with everything I had. I buried my face into them like a child desperate for air, for presence and home. And I'm telling you, thinking about my bonus dad, I remember when he and my mom, first got married and everything. He's always been the utmost respectful to us, honored us, cared for us. And I used to call him by his last name, even after they got married. And I remember my mom was telling me, I can't force you because all of my brothers and everybody was already calling him dad. And I remember my mom telling me, look, I can't force you to call him dad, but he has shown himself to be a father to you. He drove me all the way up there to Maryland to get you. And he did that because he loves us and he loves you. And I want you to try to posture your heart to honor him more than you were doing. I remember thinking about that. I remember thinking, you know what? He delivered me out of the pit. Daddy, I said, I'm going to call him daddy now. I call him daddy from that day forward. I call him dad from that day forward, because he did more than prove himself. And when I thought about it, yes, he came and got me out of that mess, when I was scared and when I was traumatized. He showed up as a father in one of my most darkest moments. So I was telling my mama, oh, you ain't got to tell me twice. I'm finna call him daddy. His name is daddy. His contact in my phone is daddy. He's my emergency contact finder. Yeah, I'm finna call him dad. Yeah, because he's my dad, because he's been there for me. So I thank God for him. I was like, yeah, you remember he got us up there? And I was like, oh, yeah, he sure did come and get us, out of that mess. And so I thank him for that. Let's see. I couldn't believe she came. I'm at the bottom of page 26. My mom had never come all the way to Maryland before. She would always meet my dad halfway to drop us off or pick us up. But somehow, some way, she knew I needed her. The last time we spoke on the phone, I was crying so hard I could barely speak. Yet despite that, she knew I wasn't okay. Yeah, guys, this was back before the iPhones. This was before you had GPS on your phone. This is when you had to print directions through MapQuest, and hope you get there. So I'm really glad they came. And my bonus dad, Baron Smith, he was there too. His presence was the cherry on top. He loved my mom, who loves my mom, and steps up to be a father to the rejected. Who says, let's go get our son, and then actually does it. That man. So yeah. Let's see. I'm going to move on to, all right, page 29, second paragraph. That moment taught me that God listens, even to the prayers we don't know how to pray, and he sends help in human form, sometimes wearing jean jackets with pink sticky notes, and love so strong it breaks every chain of fear. And for any young person, I want you to think about, the things that, your mom and your parents have done for you, especially in a young man, and I want you to honor them. You have every right to posture yourself as a son, as a daughter, and to honor your parents. The Bible even says, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. God even admonishes and challenges us to honor our parents. So I don't care what your parents have done. I don't care what T they may didn't cross or what I they may haven't dotted. Your parents are your parents that God gave you, and you should honor them and you should love them because one, they didn't have to keep you. Your mother could have had an abortion. Your parents could have gave you up for adoption. You could be anywhere in the world in a worse situation than you are now. So just for the fact of them choosing to keep you and to take care of you and to feed you and to clothe you and to have you go to school and to not be a bum, you should honor and obey your parents, all right?